Kitty and the Moonlight Rescue. Meet Kitty and her cat crew. Kitty. Kitty has special powers, but is she ready to be a superhero just like her mom? Luckily, Kitty's cat crew has faith in her and shows Kitty this hero that life with. Pumpkin. A street ginger kitten who is utterly devoted to Kitty. Figaro. Wise and kind, Figaro knows the neighborhood like the back of his paw. Pixie. Pixie has a nose for trouble and whiskers for mischief. Katsumi. Slick and sophisticated, Katsumi is quick to call Kitty at the first sign of trouble. Chapter 1. Kitty bounced into her room and Dad's bedroom as gratefully as a cat. She was wearing her strippy pajamas and her dark hair bobbed around her face as she ran. Sleeping head over heels, she landed neatly on the bed. Her mom smiled. Slow down, Kitty. It's nearly bedtime. Aren't you sleepy yet? No, I'm not tired at all. Kitty watched her mom take a sleek black superhero outfit off her wardrobe and put it on. Kitty's family has a special secret. Her mom had the cat-like superpowers, and every night she went on adventures. Her mom could see in the dark, climb walls, and balance on rooftops. Her superpower senses meant she could always tell when trouble was near. Best of all, she could talk to cats and share their secrets. Kitty wanted to be a superhero just like her mom one day. She loved playing rescue in the cat outfit her dad had made her. She could leap all the way from the window seat to her bed without touching the floor. But when she looked down the window at bedtime, there were so many mysterious shadows and odd noises out there. It was safe and snugly in her room, and the thought of going out in the dark made her shiver. She wasn't sure if she could ever be ready to be a superhero like her mom. Why don't you brush your teeth and wash your face, Kitty? Suggested Mom. Her dad came in carrying a little brother. It's time for you to brush your teeth too, Max. Let's find your toothbrush. Kitty followed them into the bathroom, but Max giggled and scampered away by the lightning speed. Mom caught him and brought him back to the sink. Be a good boy and do what your dad says, Max. She looked in the mirror and straightened her superhero mask. It's getting late. I really must go. Can't you read me a bedtime story first? Asked Kitty. I'm sorry, honey. Mom kissed Kitty on the forehead. Maybe tomorrow night. I'll read you a story, Kitty, said Dad. Kitty's shoulders slumbered. She knew being a superhero was important, but she wished Mom didn't always rush up at bedtime. But I want Mom to talk me in. I like bedtime talks. Why don't we have a little talk now? Mom took Kitty to her bedroom, and they sat in the window and sat together. They were growing darkest out, and dark full moon was rising over the rooftops. An owl hooted in the distance. Having superpowers is a very special gift, said Mom, stroking Kitty's hair. A night like this, when the moon comes out, you can feel magic in the air. Then you know it's the perfect time for an adventure. Kitty stared at the darkening sky and shivered. The orange starlights were blinking one by one, but strange shadows lingered at each corner. It looks creepy out there. I don't think I could ever be a superhero and go out in the dark like you, Kitty said. Mom hugged her tight. You can choose to be whatever you want to be, but don't let the fear hold you back. You're braver than you think. Kitty hugged her mom. I'll try to be brave. I just wish you didn't have to go. I know, but there are people out there who might need my help. Tomorrow we'll have pancakes for breakfast, and I'll tell you all about it. Mom smiled and gave her a kiss. Sleep tight, darling. Remember, I won't be far away. Kitty smiled back. Night, Mom. She watched her mom climb out the window and run down the rooftops into the dark. Dad read Kitty a bedtime story. Then she snuggled down and pulled the blanket up to her chin. Her bed was warm and comfortable, but she didn't feel ready to go to sleep yet. She wiggled onto her side and stared out the window. The moon had risen high in the black sky, and shadows flickered on the rooftops. The wind whispered, and Kitty's heart beat faster. She turned on her bedside lamp and peeped over the top of her blanket. There's nothing to be scared of, she told herself. Her mom's words spun around the inside of her head. Don't let fear hold you back. You're braver than you think. Maybe she could pull on your cat outfit and see if it would make you feel any braver. Jumping out of bed, she pulled her superhero costume over her head. Then she swung the silly black cape onto her shoulders and tied the ribbons carefully. Last of all, she put on her cat tail and Beverly cat ears before turning to look in the mirror. She did a perfect spin, and the cape flew out behind her. She laughed away the cat costume look, and she did feel a tiny bit braver. Suddenly there was a scratching noise right outside her window. Kitty turned around, her eyes wide. The scratching grew louder, and a shrill meow made her jump. She rushed to the window and peered into the dark. A sleek black cat with a white stripe on its face and white paws were waiting on the window ledge. Kitty opened the window, and the cat sprang into the room, a flick of her tail. "Good evening. My name is Figaro." He smoothed his jet black whisker. "I must speak to your mother at once." Kitty's heart sicked. Have you just understood what the cat said? "Hello, I'm Kitty," she managed. "Lovely to meet you." Figaro gave a tickle to her bow. "Please take me to your mother, Kitty. There's an emergency, and I must get her help." Kitty's stomach did a somersault. "I'm sorry. My mom's already gone out. She left a little while ago." Figaro clutched its cheek with one paw. "That is dreadful. But wait." He stared at Kitty Cat's costume. "You're a superhero, too, so you can save us from the terrible disaster." "Oh, I can't really," said Kitty. "I wouldn't know what to do." "But you are a superhero, though," insisted Figaro. "Who'll help us if you don't?" Kitty looked nervously at the night sky. She'd only been practicing when she had dressed in the costume, but now the cat believed she was a superhero. How could she tell him that she'd not dare to go out into the dark? Chapter 2. Kitty looked into the night. The thought of venturing outside made her feel wobbly inside, but how could she explain to Figaro? He was expecting her to be a brave superhero. "What happened?" she asked. "Is someone hurt?" Figaro leaped on the Kitty's bed and flickered her tail impatiently. "There's an awful noise coming from the clock tower, and the animals in the neighborhood are in great distress. We have no idea what's making this dreadful racket. You must help." Kitty leaned her head out of the window. The clock tower was a long way from her house, but she could hear a terrible high-pitched howling. It sent a shiver down her back. The clock tower is very tall, and the walls are too slippery for any of us to climb. There's panic out on the rooftop tonight, and we need your help." Kitty's stomach lurched. The noise could be anything. Did she really want to go and find out? Figaro lifted neatly off the bed. He placed his paw on her knee and faced Solomon. "Please, Kitty, we need you." Kitty gulped. She wanted to help, but there were other tiny bits that wanted to see have an adventure. She took a deep breath. "I'll go to the clock tower if you can help me find a way." Figaro Whisker picked up. "Thank you, Kitty. Every cat in Holland City will be forever grateful." He skipped to the window, his white paws flashing. "Follow me, and I'll take you there at once." Kitty's heart pounded as she climbed the windowsill. Clouds moved to hide the bright full moon, and the darkness thickened. For a second, Kitty nearly turned back inside. Then she took a deep breath and clambered through the window. She scrambled up from the windowsill and balanced on the roof, her heart racing. The shadows seemed to stretch toward her. She shivered as she gazed around, trying to spot the places she knew. There was the corner with Mr. Harvey's shop with all the cards and magazines in the window. Beyond that was the park with tall trees and duck pond. The clock tower looked very small in the distance. The wind stirred and touched the back of Kitty's neck like a cold finger. A creature with white wings flew past, a terrible shriek. Kitty froze, her breath stuck in her throat. "Don't worry. It's only a screech owl," said Figaro, bouncing away across the rooftop. Kitty couldn't move. He clutched the chimney, and bricks followed roof under her hands. She was just about to tell Figaro she wasn't really a superhero when suddenly there was a break in the clouds. Moonlight poured over the rooftop, turning everything soft and silver. Kitty felt her magical superheroes tingling. She narrowed her eyes and turned on her nighttime vision. Then she listened carefully and found she could hear lots of tiny nighttime sounds, from insects chirping to the whispering of the wind in the trees. Kitty let go of the chimney and felt her super balance kick in. It felt amazing. She skipped across the rooftop and lighted the moonbeam. "Come on, this way," called Figaro, leaping from one roof to the next. Kitty jumped across easily. When she tried a somersault and landed on her toes. Figaro nodded approvingly. Kitty smiled at him. The wind changed directions, and the terrible howling from the clock tower grew louder. Figaro shook his head. "It's getting worse. We have to hurry." They ran along the next rooftop. Then Figaro stopped suddenly, scratching his ear. "This is no good. There's much too far to jump," he said. Kitty climbed the narrow ledge. "I think I can see a way across." She climbed the gutter and ran past the row of chimneys. The strange shape moved in the opposite roof. Kitty swallowed. It looked like a monster with 2 heads. It's just a shadow, she told herself. Remember, you're braver than you think. When she looked again, she realized it was only the shadow of an oddly shaped tree. She bent her knees and got ready to jump in the opposite route. Help me! Called a little voice. Somebody please help me! Kitty zoomed the sound with her super hearing. Wait, Figaro! Someone's in trouble. I think it's coming from the park. She clambered down the drain pipe and ran to the park entrance. Dear, dear! Figaro puffed a little as she reached the ground. What a terrible night we're having! Leaving the city streets behind, Kitty and Figaro raced along the winding path that led through the park. The darkness wrapped around them like a blanket, and there was a crackling in the bushes. Kitty swallowed. It was dark, so far away from the streetlights and the houses. The path forked. Kitty hesitated, listening again for the cry. I'll search this way. Figaro waved a paw before disappearing in the direction of the pond. Kitty took the other path, her night vision sharpening. As she dashed around a bend, she caught a glimpse of orange fur. A fox with a white-tipped tail lurked in the bottom of a tree. It glanced at Kitty and raised a black nose to sniff the air. Kitty backed away. The fox had sharp and glint in his eyes. Help me! Called a tiny voice from the branches above. Kitty's heart raced. Someone was trapped up there. She was ran forward and the fox dashed away, its tail flashing in the moonlight. Kitty peered off the dark web of the leaf. It's all right. I got to help you. There was no answer. Hairs pricked on the back of Kitty's neck. My name is Kitty. Are you okay? The silence thickened. The fluttery feeling grew in Kitty's chest. It was superpowers that could let her see through the tangle of leaves. Who's up there, and why wouldn't they speak to her? Kitty gulped. There's only one way to learn who'd been calling her for help. Finding a foothold of the trunk, she pulled herself onto the lowest tree branch and began to climb. Chapter 3. Kitty swung from one branch to the next, and the leaf above her moved widely. No matter how quickly she climbed, someone else was climbing away from me even faster. Wait, I came to help you, called Kitty. The rustling stopped, and a pair of bright eyes glinted on the edge of the thick branch. Are you sure you're not a monster? Said the little voice. Kitty realized it was speaking to a cat. I promise I'm not a monster. I'm just a girl who can talk to cats. It's a special talent that runs in my family, she explained. I won't hurt you. Oh, the eyes blinked again. My name's Pixie. The leaf shook and a small cat with fluffy white fur jumped onto Kitty's branch. What happened? Did the fox scare you? Asked Kitty. I was up here in the tree imagining a magical cat with wings. And a horrible howling started. Can you hear it? I think it's the ghost. Pixie's whisker trembled. Figure says it's coming from the clock tower. I'm the way to investigate right now, said Kitty. Pixie clutched Kitty's arm with her paw. You mustn't. What if the ghost sees you? Kitty swallowed. I'm sure it's not a ghost, she said firmly. Why don't you come with us and see for yourself? The fox is gone, so it's quite safe to climb down. Pixie followed Kitty down the tree, still muttering about ghosts and monsters. Kitty was starting to wonder if the little cat had a very strong imagination. They scrambled through the bushes to find Figaro scampering toward them. At his side was a tabby cat with serious amber eyes. There you are, Kitty, Figaro twirled her whiskers. I was getting so worried. Pixie, what on earth are you doing here? I was up in the tree, dreaming of becoming the cat with wings. But now Kitty said I should come and look for the clock tower ghost, replied Pixie. Figaro muttered, Dear me, I think you're full of wild ideas as usual. He waved to the cat with amber eyes. Kitty, I'd like you to meet my friend Kasumi. She brought some news about the clock tower emergency. Pleased to meet you, the tabby cat said, bowed her head. She had a beautiful honey-colored coat and a long, elegant tail. Hello, Kasumi. Pixie bounced up to the tabby cat and touched its noses. Kasumi, this is my new friend Kitty, said Figaro. She has special superpowers just like your mother, so ask her to help us. Kitty's stomach lurched. I'm not really a superhero. Of course you are, Figaro interrupted, turning to Kasumi. Well, what is the news from the clock tower? An owl friend told me there's a creature on the tower, explained Kasumi. He didn't get close to see what it was, but it seemed quite shaken. The voice was overwhelming. Kitty listened. She didn't need a super sense to detect the sound coming from the clock tower anymore. The wailing notes was grinding lighter and sharper. I know a shortcut, said Kasumi. Follow me. Kitty and the others followed Kasumi across the park. She was strange seeing the place at night. Moonlight glinted the wings and the side, and the dog ponds shined like a silver coin. Leaves crackled and a little owl with white brown feathers flew down to perch on the branch of a tree. Kasumi nodded to the bird, the owl who had been first spreading its wings and flying away to the dark. Leaving the park, they passed a row of shops. Figueroa stopped outside the seafood store and licked his lips. Goodness me, that hat looks so delicious. His stomach gave a deep rumble. Just then a cry from the clock tower rose in a sharp wail. The noise was so sudden and lonely that it made the kitty heart ache. Quickly, she called to the cats. We're nearly there. She raced down the little alley that took her into a small square surrounded by houses. The clock towers were right in front of her, pointing into the clouds. The huge clock face was round and pale as a full moon hanging in the sky. The hands on the clock pointed to 5 minutes to the midnight. Kitty's night vision grew stronger as she started the tower's smooth stone walls. She focused in the terrible nose and saw a tiny ball harder on the narrow edge. It wasn't the ghost of the terrifying monster, it was a little ginger kitten. Its tail was curled around its body and blue eyes were wide with fright. There's a kitten on a ledge close to the top of the tower, Kitty told the other. I don't know how he got so high. Goodness me, said Figure. How can one little kitten make such a terrible racket? It doesn't even sound like a kitten, said Pixie, swinging her tail. There's a way up to the roof with over there. Kasumi pointed to the house with a low porch. Go on, Kitty, there's no time to lose. Kitty nodded, grateful for Kasumi's sensible ideas. She climbed onto the porch, and from there to the rooftop, the others followed her. The kitten looked down, shivering widely. The huge clock face below the kitten showed in time, 4 minutes to 12 o'clock. Kitty took a sharp breath. Soon it would be midnight and the clock would make 12 deafening chimes. The noise was bound to start the kitten. What if this surprised him so much that it fall right off the edge? Don't be frightened, she called to the little cat. I'm Kitty, and this is Figura, Pixie, and Kasumi. We come to help you. The kitten started down at them. Yow! He cried, and tears dripped down his furry cheeks. Poor thing, said Kasumi. I wonder how he got stuck. He's very young to climb the way to the ledge. Figure shook his head. Kitten these days can't be so reckless. Pixie turned her eyes to Kitty. You will help him, won't you? Kitty's stomach felt wobbly. I want to try, she stammered, but I'm not really a superhero. I've never been on an adventure before. But you're wearing your superhero outfit, exclaimed Figura. It was just for playing, said Kitty desperately. I'm not sure I can do this. You already come this far, said Kasumi, and superpowers clearly run in your family. Figure frowned. Yes, just remember how courageous Lou dashed in the pitch black bark when you heard Pixie's cry for help. I thought to myself at the time how brave you are. Pixie nodded eagerly. I could have been off the tree all night if it wasn't for you. Kitty blushed at her kind words. She thought again what her mom said. You're braver than you think. She turned to the face of the huge tower, and her head spun at the thought of climbing up so high. Then she looked at the tiny ginger kitten scrubbing inside of the ledge. Kitty closed her eye and felt her powers tingling inside her. That kitten's in terrible danger. I know I have to do something. A steep drop stretched below her with a narrow stone ledge on the other side. Deep shadow filled the chains, and the cold wind ruffled Kitty's hair. She took a deep breath. Then she sprang across, landing neatly on the other side. Gripping the stone wall with her fingertips, she began to climb. Chapter 4. Kitty climbed to the top tower swiftly, digging her fingers into gaps between the smooth stones. You can do it, Pixie cried. The steep drop below was filled with darkness, but moonlight poured over the tower, turning the stones silver. Kitty felt superpowers rushing toward her, and her heart skipped. Maybe she could be a superhero like her mom after all. Pulling herself on the next edge, she stopped for a second to catch her breath. The ginger kitten peeled down at the wide eyes. There was a sudden click as the big hand into the clock moved closer to the 12, and the kitten jumped with fright. Kitty's chest tightened. It was such a long day down. She climbed faster, her arms and legs tingling. She could hear the ticking of the clock. The loud tick, the big hand swept the point straight at the number 12. It was midnight. Don't be scared, called Kitty. The clock is about to chime. The kitten shook his grip on the ledge. What is a chime? Bong! The clock make a deep sound. It was so loud the whole tower trembled. Kitty held him tightly. The ginger cat jumped in fright and toppled backward, tumbling down the clock face with a terrified meow. No! Kitty shouted. The kitten clutched at the clock's long hand and clung into desperately. The hand slid back to the point of the number 11. The kitten hung there. She wailed and legs swung widely in the midair. Don't let go! I come to get you! Kitty power tingled and she climbed faster. She had to reach the kitten in time. Kitty scrambled down 10, 11, 12. Just as the last chime rang out, a strong gust of wind threw around the tower. The ginger kitten swayed wildly, and she lost its grip with one paw. Kitty's heart pounded. She couldn't let him fall. We believe in you, Kitty! Figure shouted from below. Go on, Kitty! Katsumi called out. You can do it! Pixie jumped up and down, one paw over her mouth. Kitty stepped onto the ledge below the clock face. The ginger kitten was still dangling from the clock hand, and there was no easy way to reach him. Kitty took a deep breath and climbed onto the closeted number, her black cape blowing out in the wind. Using her superpowers to balance, she clambered from one number to the next and steadied herself. She was just below the kitten. His back paws were dangling over her head. I'm here to rescue you, she told him. Reach down and take my hand. The kitten's legs swung. I can't. I'm stuck. You've been so brave, said Kitty. I promise I won't let you fall. Kitten glanced at Kitty with terrified blue eyes. I can't move. Be brave, urged Kitty. I know you can do it. The kitten's whiskers quivered and it reached down, letting Kitty grab hold of the paw. He let go of the clock hand and Kitty caught him and pulled him up close. She could feel his body shaking. The wind shivered all around him. Kitty held tight to the clock face. There was still a long way to go before they reached safely. Hold on to my shoulders, Kitty told the little cat. Then I have my hands free to climb. The kitten scrambled onto her shoulders. Kitty made her way down the tower carefully to keep her balance. The kitten stung her neck as she peered anxiously at the ground. It's too far, he squeaked. We'll never make it. We will, Kitty told him. Can you see my friends on the rooftop over there? Soon you'll be able to meet them. The kitten looked at the rooftop with whiskers twitching. Kitty kept climbing, but Kitten clutched at her face, covering her eyes with his paw. Kitty didn't want to worry him, so instead she used her superpower senses. She felt along the tower rail for every foothold and handle, balancing perfectly. She could hear Figaro and Katsumi talking, so she knew exactly where she was going. At last, they reached the wide ledge where she had begun her climb. Are you ready? Kitty asked the ginger cat. I'm going to jump across. You made all the way over there? He squeaked through the gap between the clock tower and the rooftop. It's too far. We'll both fall. Don't worry. I've done this before. Kitty smiled, and I have superpowers that help me. The kitten's eyes grew big and round. Then you are a real superhero? I'm still learning, said Kitty, and this is my first adventure. The little cat gazed at her solemnly. I trust you. I'll hold tight while you jump. Kitty got ready, bending her knees and throwing back her arms. There she made an enormous leap. Her black case drew out behind her, and for a moment Kitty felt like she was flying through the sky. She landed softly on the other side and set Kitty down the rooftop. Figaro, Katsumi, and Pixie rushed over to meet them, meowing with excitement. That was the darling rescue, gasped Pixie. Were you scared, Kitty? A little bit, Kitty admitted. But I know all of you believed in me. That helped a lot. You certainly have a great climbing skill, said Katsumi. Don't you agree, Figaro? Yes, indeed. Figaro twirled his whiskers, but I do think it was very silly of the kitten to be so high in the first place. He turned to the kitten. What Paul's name are you doing up there? A little kitten twitched and tear on the fur cheek. I was searching for someone warm to sleep. I thought if I climbed high, it was easier to look. Then I realized that I was too high. I couldn't get down. Kitty crouched beside him. Please don't cry. What's your name? Do you have a family or friends nearby who can look after you? The kitty shook her head. I don't have a family or friends. I don't have a name either. Kitty was surprised. How could this lovely kitten not even have a name? We'd love to be your friends if you like that. She nodded at the other cat, then nodded in excitement. Agreement. The kitten wiped her tear away with his paw and a smile spread across her face. I liked it more than anything in the world. Chapter 5. Kitty sat down on the rooftop next to the kitten. The streets below were dark and silent. The stars glistened overhead like diamonds scattered across the sky. What do you mean? Where do you usually like to sleep? She asked him. I like to find somewhere warm and bright. The thing is, the kitten touched his eyes shyly, I'm a little bit scared of the dark. Sometimes I feel like that too, especially when the clouds cover up the moon and there are lots of shadows. Kitty looked from her friends to the beautiful night sky. She smiled, remembering what her mom had told her. But the nighttime isn't frightening as I thought. When the moon comes out, you can feel magic in the air. The kid nodded. His eyes were wide. Where will we go now? Figure asked the kid. I'm afraid my humans will let me bring visitors into our home. I tried it once and it caused such a kerfuffle. The kid's shoulder drooped. I don't know. Sometimes I sleep outside the seafood store and the shopkeeper gives me some fish when the shop opens in the morning, but the door is cold and hard. You must come with me, said Kitty firmly. Everyone in my family loves cats. You can sleep in my room and can make a delicious breakfast in the morning. Kitten perked up. Really? I can come with you? Kitty smiled. Of course you can. And tomorrow you can meet my family. The kitten bounced up and down with happiness. I really want to see inside a real home. Thank you, Kitty. Kitty led the cats down the roof and back through the square. When they reached the park, Kitty began to tremble. They yowled at Spiky Bush and jumped the kitten's arms. What's wrong? Asked Kitty. It looks like a monster, squeaked the kitten. Don't worry, it's nothing to be scared of. Kitty set him down, but a moment later she hopped back to her arms with a tree branch lost in the wind. Kitty carried him through the park as she yowled at the gate, the pond, and the swings. At last his head began to droop. He gave one final squeaky meow on the park bench before closing his eyes. His head rested on Kitty's shoulder. Poor thing, whispered Pixie. It must be awful finding everywhere so scary. Figure rolled his eyes. Things are certainly quiet now that he's asleep. For goodness sake, don't wake me up again. Kitty and her friends hurried out the park and climbed back to the rooftop. They darted along, skipping neatly in the chimneys. At last Kitty spotted her bedroom window at the end of the row of houses. She had left her lamp on and glowed behind the curtains. Thank you for helping me with my very first adventure, she said to Figure, Kasumi, and Pixie. It was a pleasure, said Kasumi with a bow. You did a fantastic job. I expect now you'll want to go on more, said Figure with a wink. I expect I will, said Kitty, laughing. The ginger kitten woke up and waved the paw sleepily. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you. Goodbye, see you again soon, said Kitty. Kitty watched Figure with a handsome black coat and white paws scamper away across the rooftops. Kasumi followed him, her honey-colored fur pale in the moonlight. Pixie left last, her bright white fur gleaming in the darkness. Kitty sighed happily. It really had been an amazing light. She set the kitten down the windowsill and climbed to her bedroom. I hope you like my room. I have lots of comfy pillows and blankets. Will you guys come and see? The kitten whispered could. I don't really know. I thought I want to see your room home, but what if I get trapped inside? You won't, and I promise I'll look after you, said Kitty, surprised. The kitten backed down in the corner of the windowsill. I can't go in. Please don't be mad. Don't worry, I'm not mad. Kitty reached down and stroked the kitten between his ears. I just want you to be cold. It's quite warm here. The kitty laid down the windowsill and curled his tail around his body. Kitty fetched her pillows and a blanket and brought them over to the window seat. She left the window open and settled on the wide, cushioned seat so that she could be close to the ginger kitten. She could see his striped tummy rising and falling peacefully as she slept. Kitty hoped she was having happy dreams. At last he closed her eyes too, and the stars twinkled above them in the velvet black sky. Chapter 6. When Kitty woke up the next morning, her mom was pushing her hair out of her face. She sat bolt upright, puzzled to find herself in the window, and not in bed. Then she remembered everything that had happened in the night before. She peeked through the open window, but the kitten wasn't asleep in the sill anymore. Morning, Kitty, said Mom. You look like you had an adventure last night. Kitty glanced in the superhero outfit. It was amazing. A cat named Figaro came here looking for you. It was an emergency, so I want to help instead. Shall I make some breakfast? And then you call me about it. All about it, said Mom. Oh, yes, please, but... Kitty peered outside, frowning. Can you see a little ginger kitten? When I went to sleep, he was right here at the windowsill. Throwing off her blanket, she leaned out the window and listened carefully. All she could hear was birds chirping and cats driving the street below. Kitty's heart sank. She wanted to look after the kitten because she had no home in his own. She wished he had been brave enough to come inside. Maybe he's still nearby, said Mom. Why didn't you try going outside and calling him? Kitty slipped out the window and climbed to the rooftop. The sun shined down warmly, and whisked clouds hung in the pale blue sky. Kitty stopped on the ridge of the roof, calling, Hello, are you still there? Pumpkin's hair was no answer. Then a small striped face with whisker peeped out from the chimney. His blue eyes lit up when she saw Kitty, then drew back nervously. Mom, who had followed Kitty, whispered, "Is he a shy cat?" "I think he's nervous because he's been leaving all alone now," explained Kitty. "He didn't want to come inside last night. He was not used to having a home." "I see," Mom frowned thoughtfully. "Well, if he don't come to us, maybe we should go to him. Come and help me the breakfast then, Kitty." Kitty and their mom made a stack of golden pancakes that smelled so delicious and made Kitty's mouth water. They carried the pancakes out to the rooftop, and along with some fresh orange juice. They also brought us some fresh fish in case the kitten was hungry. They spread Kitty's blanket on the small flat area on the roof near the chimney. Kitty poured some syrup and pancake and took a bite. Everything tastes better when you eat outside." "It really does," said her mom, laughing. "I wonder if this fish tastes good too," said Kitty, glancing at the chimney. The kitten's face peered out again, nose twitching, and smelled the breakfast. It grabbed a bowl of fish. "Good morning, Kitty Bean. I hope you're hungry." "Good morning." The kitten flicked her tail sharply and nibbled some food in the bowl. "This fish is so yummy." Did someone say fish? Figure leaped along the rooftop, stopping to peel sleek black and white fruit. "I hope there's enough for me." Kasumi, who was behind him, waved the elegant tail. "Honestly, Figure, you shouldn't invite yourself to someone else's meal." Pixie or Ravenlight sniffed the air. The sun gleamed on the silky white coat. "It does smell delicious. I can't imagine I walked into a splendid banquet." Kasumi bowed to the kitty and her mom. "Sorry for interrupting your breakfast. We just came to say good morning to thank Kitty for her help last night." "Good morning," Mom smiled. "You're welcome to join us. I have plenty more fish in the fridge." "That is most kind," exclaimed Figaro, while Kasumi and Pixie murmured their thanks. Mom climbed inside and wrapped in more balls of food. The ginger kitten finished his breakfast and licked the ball with his little pink tongue. "That was delicious!" He crept over to Kitty and curled up with her lap. Kitty smiled and stroked his fur gently. "Good morning," Dad lifted Max in the rooftop. "Do I smell pancakes?" Soon everyone was eating breakfast and talking about Kitty's adventure the night before. Figaro reminded them all that it has been an idea to fetch Kitty in the first place. "I was certain Kitty's cat-like superpowers will be just like we needed," he told everyone. Kitty blushed. "I didn't think I could do it, but I got easier more than I tried." "I'm proud of you," Kitty's mom beamed at her before turning to the kitten. "And maybe you'd like some live with us. We have plenty of room here, and we love you to stay. I'm sure it was nicer than sleeping outside on our doorstep." Kitty touched She hoped her family would love the kitten as much as she did. She held her breath, waiting them to reply. "You really want me to stay?" She looked at the mom to the kitty. "Not just for one day, but forever?" "Yes, please do." Kitty stroked him between the ears. "And I think we should help you to choose a name." She wiggled her forehead, thinking, "How about Pumpkin? It suits you because of your lovely orange fur." The kitten purred. "I love the name. Do you really think it suits me?" "It's perfect for you," Kasumi told him. Pumpkin rubbed his face against Kitty, and she held him tight, feeling his soft fur against her cheek. "I think maybe one day soon I'd like to go on an adventure in the moonlight," said Pumpkin. "I'm sure you want to be